slow spin.
Hey, folks.
Good evening.
It says we're live. It looks like there's a bunch of people here already. Let me know how the picture is. We had a fiasco a couple years ago. Well, last year now, and it was the feed was terrible. So let us know how it looks, how it sounds. Everything's good. It looks like there's still a delay in the chat. People saying all good. Cool. Lots of very familiar names in the chat tonight. Sam McLeod, Ben Sullivan, Paul Stan. Hey guys.
Hey.
Brad and Eddie here for our biannual live stream. It's fall now. It's 38 degrees outside right now. Very different from yesterday. That was,
it's like 50s.
No, it was like 70 yesterday.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was crazy.
I guess I didn't get out enough.
Hey everybody. Eric Waters, Tomfoolery. Thanks everybody for showing up. I have like previous years, a short list of stuff I want to talk about, and then we'll interact with the chat and answer questions if anybody has any. Eddie has to leave in like
unfortunately
20 minutes.
Yeah.
He has to go to work, which is it's funny. The last live stream in the spring, we were talking about how great it was that you had this new job and we were going to have all this time.
Yeah, it's so flexible with the schedule.
And you were in I think 2 videos this year, not including the Pound the Ground event.
Yeah, things escalated quite quickly.
Eddie very quickly rose to the top, and
I wouldn't say the top, but I got a promotion and it comes with some more responsibilities, and I'm kind of the first guy that has to pitch in now. Yeah. I'm obligated to when needed. So
he works in security. So now tonight, all night you're working?
Yep, all night.
So you guys are going to be stuck with me for the last half. We're probably going to go for about an hour tonight.
Sorry, guys.
So we have some stuff to give away. We'll give something away like every 15 minutes or so. So like 8:15, we'll give something away with trivia questions as usual. If it's your first time here, you're a new subscriber, thanks for coming. It's just going to be us talking for like an hour, answering questions and talking about what happened this last year and then what we hope to happen over the winter and then going into the next year.
No, we have not gotten snow yet.
No, well, no, not
up in the mountains. I see some snow, but down average elevation. No.
I turn my sound off here. I'm getting emails. Yeah, so let me start talking about the kind of the stuff that I have on my list here that I want to get out of the way. In the May live stream, we talked about starting kind of these larger treasures, searching for these larger, very well-known kind of legendary treasures. And it didn't happen over the summer, mostly because this guy's a workaholic.
Okay, yeah, I'll own that. But in the first place, when I said, hey, we should go after these, this guy's like, no, that's baloney. Oh, no, it's not real, not a thing.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
It took a lot of convincing.
We're gonna go more into this. It's gonna be a video series. At least 3 videos for one of these treasures, and probably the whole first episode is going to be talking about kind of the discovery. Eddie knew the story of this treasure first, and I had never heard of it. And he told me about it, and I said, Eddie, you're crazy. This is no. And then and the thing that really sold me, I'm sorry, Eddie, but the thing that really sold me,
not me,
was I was talking to Mike, the guy who was in the videos in the late fall of last year. And he goes, hey, have you ever heard of this? And I go, Eddie said something about that. He goes, oh yeah, it's just, something that it's a story that people say around here. Like, I've never heard it, it kind of substantiated Eddie's story, and I did some research, and it's like a legit thing. So we're going to start. Yeah. So the first kind of episode of this series, I'm already kind of planning it out, is just going to be talking about what it is, going through the research, talking to locals about what they've heard about this grand treasure. And so that's going to be the first series, and rifle season here starts the week after this coming. So that's going to be kind of our start of like trying to stay out of the woods a little bit, and we can start on this kind of legendary treasure series. So I just wanted to, I hate saying, hey guys, you know, coming up soon, keep an eye out for this, and then it never happens. That bugs me when other people do that. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, let you know that it's coming. And there's, after we kind of close up the story on that, the first big treasure, then there's another one in Vermont. These are Vermont kind of treasures that we're gonna be searching for. A lot I see in the chat, like I know we have this problem that we get talking and the chat is kind of blowing by. There's the number of people in here is elevating near 400 people, so the chat's kind of going pretty quick. But I see a lot of people asking if I'm going to be playing guitar tonight or if there's going to be music. Not tonight. Sorry, just chatting, just talking. It was Sasquatch, lots of Sasquatch. We haven't found him yet. Okay, so we're going to come back to the questions and interact with the chat after we kind of get through this stuff that we want to talk about a little bit. Another thing that I wanted to get out of the way while Eddie was here is, while we were at this Pound the Ground event a few weeks ago, by the way, that happened, and then like I edited the videos very, very quickly, and then I posted them. The next video that you guys see, the leaves are also going to be green because it's from like 2 months ago. So those were rushed to YouTube. But anyway, so that at that Pound the Ground event, we met a ton of you folks that watched these videos.
It was crazy.
It was, you know, we felt like celebrities. It was the most surreal experience of my life. People already knowing who you are. Anyway, it was an incredible experience. And right away, actually, you see him in the beginning of the first part of the series. This guy, I'm going to give you all of his information because he sent me a gift. Well, he sent us a gift. His name is Matt Thompson. He doesn't know I'm doing this, so thank you, Matt. His website is relicdirtyhands.com. He sent both of us these finds boxes for, you know, when you find something, you can put it in here to keep it safe. And they have these little separators in here. And I just wanted to say thanks again publicly. I did something for him on Instagram thanking him, but these things are pretty incredible.
Yeah,
and
so cool.
You can go to his website, and he sells these with whatever you want on them. If you have a logo, then he'll put them on a finds box. This one's Eddie's.
I feel like as though now I'm entering the pro league. I've never actually had a find box. I've been amateur level this whole time, just dedicated pockets, like, oh, junk pocket, you know, cool stuff. But I feel real official now.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it.
Eddie always had, you know, a banana case.
Yeah, I have a case dedicated for bananas, but not treasure yet.
So
perfect.
Thanks again, Matt, and you go check out his website. It was relicdirtyhands.com, and buy one of these 3D printed cases from him because they're pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I was blown away.
They feel pretty tough. I mean,
I deal with 3D printed parts for my job, and those are pretty legit. I've been using mine for a few weeks now, and it's holding up fantastic. So if you metal detect, definitely go pick one of those up. In about 5 minutes, we're going to give something away. So hang in there. Let's look at the chat a minute. Eddie is pro league now. Parabolic Flow says.
Eddie, check your bag regularly so you're not eating expired snacks.
Denny Hyatt says, loves the hat, has character. Are you talking about this? This, as a matter of fact, this happens. It's not actually a very cool story. I don't even know why I'm telling you that.
From your headlamp?
It's from a headlamp. I clip a light on here to bring the garbage out at night. That's what it's from.
You should have made up something better.
I know. Next time, you forget that. I'll make up a new story.
Fighting a Sasquatch and
yes,
ripped it when you were headbutting it.
You bit it.
Yeah.
Richard Warnock says, "Hi, how many shoes do you two go through?" So the toe shoes are always a hot debate in the comment section of my videos, and they're not actually toe shoes. I wanna talk about this. The toes aren't isolated; they're just the bumps on the ends of the toe of the shoes. But I've gone through 2 pairs of those. There's because there's no sole; they just kind of fall apart. But I enjoy. They're technically they're called moccasins. I think that sounds cool, right? Moccasins, hiking moccasins, running moccasins.
Yeah, sounds cool, but I mean, they look like toe shoes. So that's not too cool. I just wear hiking boots, and I've never really had to go through any boots. They're still fine.
Yeah,
I've used them for years, but
I
just like the ankle support too.
Toe moccasins, yeah. Same. With that toes, although I've looked at, I will admit, I've looked at the Vibram 5-finger toe shoes, but they're like over $100, and I couldn't justify buying those. So mine were not that much, and the toes aren't isolated.
I can't believe they're warm. They just look so like thin, and you were wearing them when we were camping.
Yeah, just wear socks. Paul Stan says, "What kind of GPS do you use in the woods?" Just my iPhone. People are always surprised when I say that because they sell like GPS units that are used for hiking out in the mountains and all that stuff. But as long as the phone has battery charge, you don't need cell service. These things the GPS goes straight to the satellite, or it bounces off cell phone towers that are not necessarily your carrier. There's cell phone towers out there that aren't used by like commercial cell phones. They're just towers. And if you can actually dial 911 on a cell phone when you don't have cell service, and it'll work. So the GPS it always works. So I just use Google Maps.
Yeah, and they you can download offline maps as well. That's helped sometimes.
You can download the satellite image and of the area that you plan on going to, and it just works fine. How do you not have a phone case and not trash the phone? Amazing, Ben Sullivan. I don't know. I had a cell phone case. Man. Yeah, I like to live dangerously. I had a cell phone case, and I smashed my phone, and then I got a new screen for it, and then I didn't bother getting a new case. And you just be careful. That's all. I say, other people have said this, but they designed this to be thin and beautiful and elegant, and then you put like an OtterBox on it, and it's like this big, and it just use it like it was designed for. You'll be all right. Okay, we're gonna give something away. It's almost 1:15. So I have a bunch of stuff to give away. The first thing. And we have a trivia question for everybody. Okay, so I get distracted by the chat. People are asking questions. So the first thing we're going to give away is actually 2 things. It's going to be the CD of the music. If you're new to the channel and you didn't know, all of the music that you hear in the videos is my own that I've written specifically for the videos. And the first. Well, I was gonna say the first 20, but there's 20 tracks on here. There's some that didn't make the cut to go on here, and there's then some that were written after this was made that will be on volume 2. But if you like the music from the videos, this is where you can buy this, or you can win it right now. So to go along with this is also we have a keychain, little widgets. We have a bunch of stuff on the website, which is gmmd.us, to get all of this stuff. And this is just a little leather keychain that I make. It's actually, it's scrap leather from the holsters that I make, and I turn them into keychains.
Mine's held up really good. How long?
Yeah.
This was years ago you made these, right?
Yeah.
I mean, mine's still going.
Yeah, it's really nice leather, which is why I try not to just throw it away.
Yeah.
And it'll last a lifetime if you treat it well. Okay, so the CD and the keychain is going to go to the person that can answer this question. Let me get the question out. Oh, we just got a super chat. So if you didn't know, a super chat is when somebody very generously donates some money to the channel, and Plugmaster 4 just did and said, will you camp at Pound the Ground next year if it's at the same place? Yeah, it was great.
I would, yeah.
And thank you for the $5, by the way. Very, very generous. We had the pleasure of chatting with you at the event, and you're a great guy. We enjoy your channel. Everybody go to his channel and give him some views. But yeah, we camped at that Pound the Ground event, and it was kind of funny. It was very cold. I mean, it was like looking at the forecast, and it was going to be in the 40s. We're like, we'll just bring really warm sleeping bags and it'll be fine. But it was not great. It was a little miserable.
It was pretty cold. I mean, I have a great sleeping bag.
Yeah.
So I was good once I bundled up in there.
Yeah.
But man, getting out in the morning was just brutal.
And the thing was too, we wanted to be at the field at 7. And we also wanted to cook breakfast and coffee over the campfire. And we also had to make the fire. So we were getting up at like 4:30 to get all that stuff going, and then to get on the road to get to the place at 7. And the second morning, it was like the wind was, we didn't even bother trying to get a fire going. It was very cold and windy. We were under a bunch of oak trees and the acorns were like falling on our tents, and it was hard to sleep. And the geese, I've never slept outside that far north, close to the Canadian border before, and the geese all night were like,
oh yeah, nonstop.
Sleep.
I couldn't believe it. It was like distracting,
It was.
I could see a lot of natives in the air just don't even bat an eye for it, but just like, go away.
All Metal Mike says, do you always, also a super chat, $5. Thank you. You guys don't have to do that, but I appreciate it. Do you guys always carry a firearm while in the woods? I think Eddie probably always does.
Yeah.
And I usually do. In the wood, it depends, because it's a lot of times it's up to the landowner. Like, I don't want to be like, show up guns a-blazing at landowners' places. Sometimes it's just not necessary. But sometimes when we're a ways out, or if there's been a history of trespassers, or if it's berry season for the bears, it just depends. And I think you always wear one on your hip, right? You always have it in a hip holster? Usually, yeah. I mean, there's been a couple places, just a handful in the past. I think I did in the waistband or something like that if it was close to it. But if you don't see one on me, it might be in a shoulder holster under my hoodie. I do that a lot. Just because I don't, I shouldn't care if people get offended by it, but I just want to, I don't know. I don't need it out and, brandishing it to everybody on YouTube. Just leave it under my hoodie. Okay, so we got to do this giveaway. We're already 4 minutes past. So the question to win the CD and the keychain, so it's going to be this is 2 words. I'll give it half of it away to you. It's the answer. So the whatever. Okay, so this is how this is going to work, everybody. Again, people who have not been to our live stream before, this is how this is going to work. I'm going to ask a question, and then people are going to start answering in the chat. And the first person that we see in the chat is going to win the CD and the keychain. I know that there's a difference between live chat and in like top chat or whatever, and I don't see a way to change it right now, unfortunately. So it's just whatever the first name that we see is going to be the winner. And in the past, people have been like, well, this person said it first. Well, this is the way it is. It's the first person we see. And if you answer ahead of time, you're out. Spooky Donkey says spoon. You lose. Just kidding. Now, from now on, if you answer ahead of time before I even answer the question, you ready? So Eddie and I found a rock on top of a fallen log. What was Eddie's hypothesis for how that log got it ended up with a rock on top of it? So we're going to look at the chat. And the first person to answer correctly. A lot of Sasquatches and aliens. Oh, there it goes.
We're looking for particulars. See, that's like almost technically right, but
Bigfoot?
I think we should get no. We should get particular.
People are saying, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I stopped the chat and then we're going through it slowly. People are saying lots of Sasquatch, lots of Bigfoot.
Yeah, guys, we're looking for like particular. I quoted it.
Yes, I even put in an image.
Yeah, that's right.
Lots of aliens, lots of. Nobody has gotten it that I see.
Not by name, no.
Doyle's Dig says John Goodman. Melting glacier, UFO, Yeti, moose, chupacabra, pilgrims, turkey, Jimmy Hoffa, natives, Hercules, Eddie's fanny pack. You don't carry a fanny pack.
I don't think I have.
God, I don't see it yet. I mean, like I said, it's going so fast now. There's 600 people in here watching.
The Force.
If you already answered and you think you got it correctly, just keep typing because we probably missed it. The Jabberwocky. You see it, Eddie?
I haven't seen it yet, no.
Flood. Blair Witch. Tree Roots. The Hulk. Hulk is close. Wind. We're going to start giving out hints because nobody's gotten it yet. I thought this was going to be an easy one. There it is. Rhonda says Gorn. Rhonda, R-H-O-N-D-A, says Gorn.
That is correct.
That is an early, what was it, 1970s?
Yeah. It's got to be around there.
Star Trek reference.
Yeah.
The Gorn.
Lizard Man.
How could you forget Eddie's reenactment? So Rhonda is the first one that we saw who answered Gorn. If you answered Gorn ahead of Rhonda, I apologize. The chat is too fast. We didn't catch it. So Rhonda, go ahead and send an email to greenmountainmetaldetecting@gmail.com. Rhonda says it again, Gorn. And we'll get you a CD and the keychain. So thank you, everybody, for participating in that one. That was fun. There were some good answers in there.
Yeah, I know. A lot were saying aliens. And I mean, well, that's technically it. I mean, you got to get a little more specific. That's not fair.
All right. It's 25 after. You good? Are you leaving?
Yeah, I think I gotta.
You gotta go.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right.
So.
Well, Eddie, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. I wish I could stay the whole thing, but responsibility, duty, blah blah blah.
He has a real like grown-up job, unlike me.
Yeah, unfortunately, but yeah, no, it was nice being here and getting to see all the chat and stuff. I'll try to catch the rest later, catch up with chat.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we will usually watch this back and watch the live chat and see all of your comments after, because there's just no way we can keep up with it right now. There's like 600 people in here. So, all right, Eddie. Nice seeing you, buddy.
So
Hopefully
long,
we'll see
everyone.
See you next week or the week after to start this.
I'm hoping so.
Legendary treasure.
I'm hoping so. I'm really excited about the legendary treasures.
He's been talking.
I've been on about it for ages.
Half a decade.
I almost lost the itch, and then one day I get the text. There might be something to this. Yes.
All right, buddy.
All right, guys.
You're safe. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm glad he was able to come. He almost wasn't able to at all, and then he was able to come for the first half, so that's great. Okay, so we spent so much time on that giveaway. We're gonna another 5 minutes from now. We're gonna give something else away, but for a minute, I'm gonna talk about the next thing on my list, which kind of pertains to what Eddie and I was just talking about. Rifle season. As we mentioned, we're going to be in the announcement for the stream video that I posted. We're going to be going back down to videos every other week, metal detecting videos. And last year, I posted teaser videos for the following week, with the video that was to be posted the following week, and people lost their minds. They were so upset about the teaser videos. So, I edited the first teaser video that is going to be for this coming week, and I got to thinking, and I was talking to my wife, and I wanted to talk to you folks tonight first before I go through this. But I was thinking about on the off weeks, when there's snow on the ground, about creating content that is not metal detecting, and it's more of just like a vlog of kind of behind the scenes of making the music, kind of talking about the editing, talking about kind of the working with the relics that I have, like the iron stuff, like what I do with those, stuff with my family, doing kind of the background stuff of the channel. People are saying leather work. Dennis and Dana say leather work. Yeah, stuff like that, kind of giving me something to film and post every other week. Historically, in the past, I get a lot of down thumbs on videos that are not strictly metal detecting, because metal detecting is in the name of the YouTube channel. But I wanted to talk to you folks what you thought of that. But I think that I talked to my wife about it, and she's open to being in the videos and being included in the Brad vlog every other week for the winter. And if people like it, I don't know, maybe we'll continue through the summer and try to get 2 videos a week, get a metal detecting video and kind of get a vlog video in the summertime. So I'm going to look back through the comments. I see lots of thumbs up and lots of positive feedback on that idea. People are saying no teasers already. 925 and Einder says no teasers, please. I'm going to make the kind of the behind the scenes vlog, and then just tag the teaser at the end, just give a preview for what you can expect the following week. So in the summer, for the next minute, I'll kind of talk about this because we're going to give something else away. So the YouTube channel has grown to a size now where I'm able to spend like 2 to 3 weekdays kind of doing this now because of the ad revenue from the YouTube channel, which is incredible. It's all thanks to you guys who watch my videos and just keep coming back to watching more. So I want to thank you for that, because this is like a dream job for people. This is like ridiculous. People, I talk to people and I say, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm like, "Oh, I film metal detecting videos on YouTube," and they're like, "That you can do that?" Anyway, so this summer I tried as hard as I could, going out 2 to 3 times a week to try to build up videos to try to be able to post either multiple videos a week. I saw somebody earlier in the chat asking if I could post more videos a week, or at least getting us through the winter so that I don't have to post every other week through the winter. But I just couldn't do it. It's what I ended up doing. Hopefully people noticed this year. I focused a lot more on the history of the locations, and I spoke to the landowners a lot more about what they think these places were and stuff. And I just spent a lot more time on the videos. And I think personally that the quality of the videos this last year versus previous years was better, I hope. And instead of getting more videos, I just wound up getting videos that just took more time to make. So I wasn't able to kind of create the big backlog that I wanted to, which is why we're floating this idea about doing a vlog video every other week. William Logan just did a $10 super chat. Thank you, William Logan. I really appreciate the $10, and says, hope to see you up in the Northeast Kingdom sometime. Cheers. I would love to. And I get, because of the YouTube channel doing moderately well, I get emails on the weekly, invitations to places all over Vermont to do metal detecting and to film. And unfortunately, places, I live in the southern half of Vermont, places up in the Northeast Kingdom near Champlain and stuff, I would love to get up there, but it will take me over 2 hours of driving, which is 4 hours out of my day. And it's hard to get like a good amount of time to both metal detect and film and do everything for a video in just like, I would have like 4 or 5 hours of metal detecting, and it's hard to do that and make it a successful trip for me. So I usually stick to the bottom half, but yes, hopefully soon, maybe I can plan like a week and go up and do something like that and kind of hit a bunch of places up there. But I will say my baby boy's 3, and it just going to the Pound the Ground event for 2 nights was tough. Missed the little guy. So again, thank you, William, for the $10. I just got another super chat from Martin Wolleben, $25, no message attached. Thank you. Very generous. I appreciate that. $25 is crazy. People donate that much. Okay, so we're gonna give something else away. So the next thing, let's see. We're gonna give away a t-shirt. So I have 3 t-shirts. Let's see here. We have the original Find Adventure gray with white Find Adventure with my logo. It doesn't say YouTube. It doesn't say Green Mountain or anything on there. It's just my logo with the Find Adventure slogan. I have these, so you can choose one of these shirts, the person that wins this next thing. I have my Vermontensium Mountain sun peeking over the mountain shirt. It says Green Mountain underneath, green and yellow. And my wife's favorite, the one with my face on it, says Green Mountain, blue with yellow. So you can choose one of these. I have sizes small to, I think, 4X. And you will win if you can answer the following question. It's going to be 2 words, this one. I'm going to ask the question, and then I'm going to try my best to keep up with the chat and catch the first answer. What was the item that won the competition between Eddie and I at the Pound the Ground this last month? I found something that won it for me. What was that thing? You got to be more specific. Girl Scout pin. Well, Ross Etheridge says the Girl Scout pink, but I'll give it to you, Ross. A lot of people said pin. It wasn't close enough. I'm sorry. So Ross Etheridge says the Girl Scout pin. And as I was asking that question, I got another super chat. A Digger Degas, Amanda, your videos have been amazing. Next time in Maine, give me a shout. Thank you. We met up at the event. You're great. Everybody go check out her Instagram and her YouTube channel. And thank you for the $10. Next time I'm up in Maine, my family goes twice a year to Maine usually. So I'll definitely do that. Thank you. And I already forgot the name of the person who won the Girl Scout pin. Let me find it again. You know who you are. Send me an email, Green Mountain Metal Detecting at Ross Etheridge. Send me an email, Green Mountain Metal Detecting at gmail.com, and we'll get you the t-shirt of your size and the design that you'd like. I already got an email from Rhonda. I see it sitting there, so that's great. I'm gonna start writing these down so I don't forget. Thank you. Sorry, I gotta write myself notes because I am very forgetful. This is the CD, this is the shirt. Okay. Yes, and I wanted to talk a little bit. Oh, by the way, here it is. Dun, dun, dun. I haven't even cleaned it yet. It's been sitting in a box. A lot of people in the comments of the video were like, I don't know if that counts as jewelry. I mean, it's not a button. You would wear it. It's jewelry. People are trying to give the win to Eddie because he looks so depressed at the end. Yeah, so I wanted to mention again, I feel like deja vu, this happened last fall. I think it was last fall during the live stream. The same exact thing happened. But this time at the Pound the Ground event, Eddie and the competition between Eddie and I, we both picked bucket list finds. You know, if we found this item that we both picked ahead of time, we would get 5 points. And Eddie picked a gold coin, and then he welched on that and said, "Oh, anything gold." And mine was a Vermont copper that was legible. And this last week, I actually found one. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because I don't think my camera focuses up close, but you can see it. There's the little mountain, or the little sun with the mountains, and it's in this little fancy case. And that's the logo on one of my shirts. So I was very excited. And this is actually what I carved into my pumpkin this year. If you head on over to Instagram, you might be able to still see that. So yeah, this, because I say deja vu because last year I was talking about, it was my bucket list find, and I found one last year, but it was just completely smooth, and I had found it like a while ago, and I was experimenting with old coppers that were smooth and like sandpaper and acid, just trying to see if you could just get something out of them. And one of the coppers I did that to ended up being a Vermont copper, but it was very, it wasn't exciting. It was like, oh, that, it's this one I found on camera, and I couldn't talk. I was so excited. So that video is going to be coming up this winter. Something to look forward to. All Metal Mike says, how much time do you spend on research before you go to the site? It depends. It depends on how much information the landowner has already. Because if he has, Martin just gave another $10 and asked another question that we're going to get right to that. But first, All Metal Mike, it's going to depend on how much the land already has, because sometimes there's no way to research the stuff that the landowners know. It's not in any books. It's not on any maps. They just have it through family memory, and that stuff I'm very grateful to be able to know and include and tell you folks. But if I'm going to a place that maybe I found on an old map, I do enough research so that I have a pretty good idea of what I expect to find. Obviously, sometimes we're surprised at the things that are found. but I try to do enough research so that there's a story with the video that people can follow along with. I've definitely made videos this year that are like, we're going to a place, I don't know anything about it, I don't know what we might be able to find, and those videos can be exciting too. But I think a really quality video is one that has a story that's told in the beginning, and then we go and we find stuff that kind of substantiates the story. So I do enough research where hopefully I can convey that through a video. And sometimes that's no research because the landowner has all that stuff ahead of time. Martin says with a $10 super chat, again, thank you, incredible. Phyllis and I just wanted to know if you ever considered taking folks on hunts, say 10 people for $100 or $150 per person. Many of us don't have the permissions you work so hard to get. We are jealous. Have I considered it? I've considered it. And, you know, there's like liability and stuff. I'm sure if you talk to the coordinators at the Pound the Ground stuff, like everybody had to sign liability papers. I'm sure they had to pay out the nose for insurance. And, you know, the places that I'm usually going, well, this last week, I actually didn't get any videos done because I visited on this big piece of property. I visited 4 sellers, and they were all previously metal detected, unbeknownst to the landowner. And I hiked 10 miles. I can actually probably show you on my pedometer on my phone. Maybe I updated my thing and I don't know how to go backwards in time now. But yeah, it was 10 miles I hiked that day. And I think most people probably wouldn't want to do that. I'm going to take a wild guess. So there's that. And I guess I could find, like, it's just hard to find a landowner that is going to want a mess of people on their land. The kind of places that I'm going. Usually it's, you know, somebody emails me and says, hey, Brad, I love your videos. I'd love you to come up. And it's hard for me to say, hey, would it be okay if I brought like 9 other people? But that's definitely not out of the question in the future. If I can find a landowner that both would allow a group of people and would allow me doing business on their land and has sellers that could potentially find, you know, where you could potentially find stuff, then maybe we could do that. But probably not. Be honest, I don't know. I have so much. My focus is to go and make hopefully entertaining videos. I'm not really not really. It doesn't really interest me to be a tour guide, I guess you could say. Anyway, it's a nice thought, and that sounds like something that would be fun for me to do. go on a guided thing like that. That sounds like a lot of fun, but it doesn't sound like it would be fun for me to be on that other side of it. So anyway, thank you again. But again, thank you for the super chat. Chaplain CT Beer says, I'd take a horse. Eddie has horses, and we've talked about doing that, going on horseback to some of these places. But it's always like it's in the morning and we're like, want to load up the horses? Not really. Let's just drive. Let's just drive and hike. So it hasn't happened. Katie Olson says, can I download your music on Spotify? No, it's not on any digital platforms. You can download it directly from my website. I do work in the music industry, and I know, you know, all about iTunes and Spotify and Amazon Music and all that stuff. I have personal music on those platforms, unrelated to the YouTube channel. But I've chosen not to put my metal detecting stuff on there, mostly just because I wasn't planning on selling it. And then people were like, hey, I'd love to buy your music. It's all right, well, okay. And so I made those CDs. And then I sold a bunch of them. And then people were like, oh, can we download it? And I'm like, okay. So I ended up doing something through my website, and it was just never a venture that I was trying to make money from, being like, oh, I'm trying to sell my music and make a living that way. It was just because people wanted it. Forrest Dickerson, another $10 super chat. Thank you, Forrest. Very generous. Says, thank you for sharing all of your adventures. Keep up the good work and awesome vids. May God bless you and your family. Thank you, Forrest. It's very kind. 8:45. Let's give something else away. I have some kind of exciting news. Something I'm excited about with this next giveaway. The thing we're going to be giving away is this mug. Okay, it says "Find Adventure," white. I think it's like an applied logo on there. And for a long time, years, I offered this style mug, which is like literally thrown by a lady named Nicole Dacey I went to school with. And these things are incredible. And it just, they're so labor intensive. She makes them in batches of, I think like 8. And then I put them on my website and they sell in like a few weeks. And then it takes her a long time because this is not, making me mugs is not her job. She has I think she teaches pottery. So when she's able to make these, she makes them for me. So this is what I have to sell in between the Nicole legit mugs. Like these even have they're made specifically. They have iron in them, like metal detecting. They're not microwave safe, but they have iron flecks in the pottery, in the clay. So we're giving one of these away with this question that I'm about to give. But Nicole and I have been talking, and she is creating a whole section of her website that's just going to be Green Mountain metal detecting stuff. And she's about a month away from having that be live and having mugs on there half done, and you can choose the color of your glaze, I think she said. And I didn't ask her this, but I'm going to show you just these are prototypes, but she did research on colonial era mugs and steins, from the time period of the stuff that I'm finding. And this is just a really quick glimpse of what they may look like. So they're period correct. And she's going to have those on her website, on her Etsy page. And the way that you'll be able to get there, I'm going to have a section on my website. So you go to gmmd.us, and on the left side, there'll be a buy pottery link, and you click on that and it goes to her page, and you can just buy straight from her. Because it just didn't make sense to pay shipping for her to send pottery, 40 pounds of pottery to me, risk it breaking, and then me charge you shipping, and then risk it breaking a second time. It just makes way more sense for you just to buy them for her, and it gets shipped once. So those are going to be available in about a month. And she's also working on things that are not just mugs, again, little widgets. So these are little, I think she called them pendants. I think this is again an applied thing under the glaze, but she's making some now. If you go to her Instagram, which is, I believe, Nicole Dacey Pottery. If you go to my Instagram, you'll find it in my story. She's stamping it. So these are you could use this for anything. You could put it on a backpack. You could put it on your Christmas tree or whatever. So she's going to have these things too. And we've been talking about all other kinds of anything that's pottery that you can put a logo on. She's going to have in her store, and you can support a local crafts woman who does an amazing job. So this is what I have to make it, to get us through the Nicole pottery batches, and this is what we'll be giving away right now with the following question. Okay, so in a video over this, it was pretty recent. Most of these are pretty recent. This is going to be a one word answer. I found a small iron fruit what was it? What kind of fruit was this little iron knickknack that I found? Heather Graff says pumpkin. It was the second answer in my chat. Lots of pumpkins. Heather, send me an email, greenmountainmetaldetecting@gmail.com, and we'll get you the mug. I actually have the little pumpkin right here. A lot of people, and I actually had to Google if it was a fruit or if it was a vegetable. It's a fruit because there's seeds in it, I learned. A lot of people thought that maybe this was a clapper for a bell because it certainly seemed like it was a Cartwright operation. But I don't think so because this isn't broken up here. This is definitely cast and it's complete. And it has like a little nub on the bottom like a pumpkin does. And all of these little lobes are all different sizes. I think it's a pumpkin. Don't know. One of the most unique little things I found. Most of these places that I go to, they're very, they didn't have things like this. They had the necessities. So thanks everybody for participating in that one. There's a lot of pumpkins in there. Everybody knew that one. Pretty recent. Nick Molnar says, hello. Hello, Nick. Hey, Jersey History Hunters. Nice to see you here. Happen in chat tonight. 600 people hanging out here. We just had, speaking of pumpkins, we just had trick or treat tonight because yesterday it was raining like crazy. And if you end up watching the vlogs that I hope to be posting every other week, I actually filmed tonight, and it's kind of fun. Tonight we went trick or treating because my boy's 3. I live on a dirt road, and the houses are so separated that people don't trick or treat here. You'd have to you'd walk a mile and go to like 3 houses. So what we do is we go to a local farm, and people line up cars and open their trunks, and you trick or treat the trunks of cars. And so that's what we did tonight, and I filmed that, and it was a lot of fun. I see a lot of people asking about the CDs that are behind me on the wall and what bands I've been in, because I mentioned I have music on Spotify and other platforms, iTunes. I'm not going to say, I don't want to feel like I'm trying to sell you stuff through my musical ventures. If you look hard enough, people find the YouTube channels and the iTunes links somehow. So if you search, I'm sure you can find them. Most of these are bands I've recorded. I'm in my recording studio / workshop. People are commenting on the tools that are down here. And earlier somebody asked what I do for a living. I own a custom-made microphone business, and it's a one-man show. I design them and make them by hand, and then sell them through a website. So it makes it so that because of the YouTube channel and going metal detecting, I can take days off. I have a waiting list for people wanting to get special custom microphones made for recording studios and for live stage and stuff. And I have a waiting list. And if it's like a rainy day, I'll sit down here and make microphones. And if it's a beautiful day and I've got a good permission lined up, then I'll tell people, sorry, it's gonna be another day, and I'll go metal detecting and try to make a video. So that's my job is flexible enough. And also too, if I'm like behind on microphones, I just work in the evening as well. I can work and do it whenever. So that's what I do for a living. I used to also give a lot of guitar lessons, private student lessons, but I just stopped for the first time I did that when like just out of high school. I started that when I was like a sophomore in college, and I'm 34. So it was like 12, 14 years I did that. And then so this last summer, I decided to not do that anymore so I could do more metal detecting. And I'm afraid a little bit the guitar stuff is like use it or lose it. I feel like I'm slipping a little bit, already forgetting stuff. But I just gotta, I gotta practice on my own now. So anyway, that's what I do for a living. Make microphones and record bands when possible. Justin Welker says, you don't look 34, bud. Thanks, I think. I don't know if I look older or younger, but that's how old I am. Yeah, William Logan says, do you plan on doing any more gold panning? Yeah, I do. I have a list of non-metal detecting like permission videos to make. And on that list is gold panning. And I have a place that's in National Forest. And luckily in Vermont, it's completely legal to search for minerals like gold in National Forest. And it's not a well-known place. So it's probably because there's not a whole lot of gold there. But I'm excited about making a video out of that and going on the adventure and bringing Eddie along, hopefully, if we can find a time when he's free. He works a lot, like crazy, a lot. Every once in a while I'll post our text message conversations on Instagram, and it's just me. Hey, you free this week? No, sorry. Hey, you free this week? Oh no, sorry. It's just always working. So I have a couple more things to talk about. We're already at 9 o'clock, and this always happens. I always go over the hour, but I do have a couple other things to mention. So a lot of people, I've already seen it in the chat a couple times here. People have been asking, and I'm going to hold that thought because Dan Taraska just did a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. And it says, I just wanted to say your videos are great. And you have helped me with detecting a ton. Thank you. Glad to hear that, Dan. I'm glad that people can get something like that out of the videos, because I'm not like purposefully trying to avoid talking like gear and the technical side of metal detecting in my videos, but I definitely don't do a whole lot of it. I'm aware that the vast majority of the people that watch my videos are not people within the hobby. So I usually refrain from being like, these are my settings today, or this is the metal detector I'm using today. So I'm glad that people who are in the hobby can get something out of the videos like that, because I typically kind of glaze over that stuff. There's somebody in here that I'm getting rid of. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm sure everybody saw that person saying random terrible things in the chat. Okay, so I need a moderator, right? Isn't that what people do with this? I only do this twice a year, so. Okay, so the thing that last thing I wanted to talk about tonight is people are constantly emailing and commenting and chatting that, did you have children's sizes shirts? Are you going to get hoodies? Can you make a video about, getting rid of rust on iron relics? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I miss those. And sometimes I don't know if people can't figure out like the replies that I post they don't notify them or how it works. But I'm afraid sometimes my answers don't get to you. So I added a new section to my website, which is gmmd.us, and it's a suggestion box. So you don't have to include your name, you don't have to include your email address, and I can't actually promise I'm going to reply to you if you ask a question, but that's a place for you to go and say, I would love for you to have hoodies with your logo on it, or I would love to have black shirts, or I would love for you to make a video about blank. And all of that stuff will go directly into my email, and I'll see that, and I'll take it into consideration. I won't necessarily hats. Mariel G says hats. Yeah, I get that a lot too. And if I get, a good number of the same thing, I'm going to keep track of it all. And if I get a good number of the same suggestion, then I'll do that. Hopefully that makes sense. I tried to do it so that like all of the things were public on the website, and then people could like vote, but I couldn't figure that out. they're just emails that will go to me. Robert Clark says stickers. I have stickers. Go to the website. There's a bunch of stickers on there. So it's 9 o'clock. The house just did a $5 super chat. Thank you very much for the donation. It says, hi, Brad. Cindy and I really love your videos. Wanted to show my support for your channel. All the best. Thank you. I appreciate that. John Keene says koozies. Sure. Throw it in the hat. A bunch of people say koozies. We'll get some koozies. All right. We're going to give one more thing away. It's 9 o'clock. And then we'll chat for a little while longer, and then we'll call it a night. I think I got through my list of stuff that I wanted to talk about. The vlogs, the plans for the big treasures that are coming up, the pottery stuff, the suggestion box, and the last thing we're going to be giving away. So I make holsters, and we're going to be giving away a holster. I wanted to show, this is a pinpointer holster. This is my pinpointer holster. You can see how weathered it is. But I've been using this same holster for 4 years now. Rich Parks just gave $2 and said, I watch from California for shots of the woods of home. Thank you for the $2, Rick, and I'm glad that you can get that out of my videos. So I make and sell these holsters on my website. They're high quality veg tan leather that I dye myself so that you can choose whatever color you want. And they're hand stitch, saddle stitch. I don't have a sewing machine. And these are available on the website, but I just wanted to show you that this is 4 years old. And if you keep, take care of it, then it'll last a lifetime easily. The inside is dirty, as you would expect from a pinpointer holster, but it doesn't hurt it at all. It's just, so these are there. And we're going to give away a holster. I also have holsters for digging tools, but I don't have one to show that I use because I don't use a handheld digger. But this is a black holster, also hand stitched, white stitching that had brown stitching. So you can choose your color, what pinpointer you use, because they're molded specifically to like fit, like to lock in. Sam McLeod says banana holster. Not yet. Maybe we'll offer those someday. So all you have to do is answer this question. It's the hardest question. Those take me several hours to make. So this is going to be the hardest question. The hardest meaning not necessarily obscure, but going the furthest back in time in my videos. Beekeeper says, will the holster work for the Mind Lab Profind 35? Yes, I actually purchased one specifically to make holsters. It's the silliest thing in the world to have to do this, but I own pretty much all of the pinpointers so that I can make holsters that fit. Ted Scott says, how about a Taurus 357? If I own one, I can make you a gun holster, but I do have a Taurus 357. But if it's the right model or not, you'll have to email me and let me know. I made the shoulder holster for my Glock. And I have a few handguns. K Yoder, $10 super chat with no message attached. Thank you, K. Very generous. Okay, so we're gonna give away one of those holsters. You can choose either a pinpointer or a digger, a handheld digger holster, or if you can imagine something within reason. I know that there are leather holsters out there on the market that some guy makes that hold both the digger and the pinpointer. Just buy one from him. People have asked me to make one of those, and I leave that design to him. So yeah, don't ask me to make one of those. Okay. So the question is, and again, it's going to be 2 words, the item and the material that the item was made out of. I'm going to watch the chat. In the spring, I found something. And then in the summer, I found the matching pair for that item. Can you tell me what it was? 2 words, the material and the item. I'm going to watch the chat. And I see Mark just sent me a super chat. We're going to come right back to that. Silver Cufflink. People answered Cufflink before Town and Country metal detecting, but Town and Country did the material and the item. So you win. Lots of people are responding to that. So again, it was Town and Country metal detecting. Send me an email, greenmountainmetaldetecting@gmail.com, and we'll get you the holster. Tell me what you want, in the email. A lot of people got that one. I have them right here. If I can show you without the glare is another story. But I just wanted to point out, it wasn't very obvious in the video because I didn't have the second one with me, but they're like different lusters, I guess you could say. They were found in different parts of the property, but I'm wondering if this one was like in a fire or something, or if it was in water or moisture soil. I don't know. But I have them together again. The second one that I found had the link, so I stuck them back together again. I just thought it was interesting that they have like a different, the design is identical. I don't know if you can see that, but the shininess is different. It might be Who said that? I already lost you. Timey Wearing says it might be It might be. But the things that were found at the same place as these was all late 1700s. So I don't know if the patina would probably be the same from being in the ground. Anyway, yes, nice job. Send me an email. And we got a super chat that I got to go back for. I said I would. Mark, Heinritz. I think I said that right. Thank you for teaching and sharing. Thank you for the super chat. Very generous, $10. I'm always blown away by people's generosity. People who watch my videos. It's incredible. So we said we're going to go for an hour. It's 10 after. I'm going to interact with the chat a little bit, and then we'll call it a night. Thanks everybody again for coming out. We held pretty steady between 500 and 600 people in here, which it's crazy. It's more and more every time we do this. Very, very appreciative that I'm able to do this as a job. It's not a full-time job, but it's certainly something that I take seriously like a job, and it's all because of you guys. So I wanted to say that. Thank you for returning week after week. Christy Cochran says, tell Eddie we missed him. He'll see this. He'll see your comments. If you popped in towards the second half, he was here earlier, but he had to go to work like he always does. She Diggs sent NOK20. I don't know what currency that is, but thank you. Love watching your channel. Good luck with the vlog. Thank you very much. NOK. I can't even guess what that currency would be, but I appreciate it very much. Yeah, so again, I don't want to repeat myself a bunch, because if you're popping in towards the end here, you can watch it from the beginning, but I'm hoping to be posting vlogs instead of teasers this winter. because in the summertime, it was hard enough getting one video done a week. It'll be impossible once we have a foot of snow on the ground. So to get us through, I was thinking about posting vlogs about my life. And somebody I saw it flash by earlier. Somebody asked, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name, if I ever bring my wife metal detecting with me. And no, she has different interests. She doesn't want to, or it wouldn't be fun for her, I don't think. But she's going to be in the vlogs. I already filmed some, hoping that you people would like the idea. Oh, it's Norway. Everybody's saying Norwegian money. Thank you for that. So she'll be in those. So you'll get to see her and my boy. Chris Hochstein says Eddie needs his own channel. He has his own channel. If you go to our webpage, our front page, YouTube page, and you go to the discussion, I think it's discussion or posts tab, and go through a couple months ago, I shared one of his videos. It's a geocaching video where he went out and found a geocache, and he has some gaming videos on there. Eddie, I mentioned earlier, I'm 34. Eddie's 24. He's 10 years younger than I am. He's still a kid, and he has videos of him playing video games, which is a very popular thing to do. I don't know if older people know that or not, but it's like, I watch them. I watch people play video games on YouTube. But so he has a bunch of videos like that up there, and then he has a geocaching video, and he had plans to, again, do like a weekly thing like I do, but again, he's a busy guy. New Level Auto sends $2 super chat. Wanted to say thanks for great videos. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoy them, and I appreciate the $2. Yeah, Eddie's a geocacher. It was funny. It was sparked by the geocache that he and I found kind of spontaneously in one of our adventure videos. We found this thing, and I had never considered. I knew what they were, but I had never considered doing it. And then my boy I guess it was in the spring of this year, I got the app and I looked, and there was like a bunch around, like walking distance from my home. And so he and I went, and he just enjoyed walking around in the woods, like looking at bugs and stuff. But like to find like a treasure chest was very exciting for him. And I was telling Eddie about it, and then he got the app, and then he found all of them around here, and he made some videos doing it as well. Angelo, I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. De Gregorio sends $5 super chat. Do you have any tips for getting permissions? Do you keep your fines or give them to the landowner? Thanks for great videos. I've learned a lot. I am lucky enough to be in the position now where I very rarely contact people. They are contacting me through the YouTube channel, or somebody watches my videos, enjoys them. They contact their Uncle Bob and say, hey, Uncle Bob, have this guy come to your property. So I don't really have any tips, unfortunately. What I do is I check the old maps. I got an app. This is not a sponsorship for the app, but it's a deer hunting app called OnX, ONX, and it's a monthly membership service. I don't remember how much. It was like $30 for the year or something, and it shows property plots. And so I look at the old map, find the property plot, and it gives their phone number in Vermont. I don't know if other states. I got an email a few days ago, somebody in Massachusetts, and I told them about it, and I went through the process. And I don't think Massachusetts offers the phone number, but Vermont does. And it was just easy to call the phone number and be like, hey, I saw some pretty cool stuff on your land. So there's that. And then I always offer everything to the landowners. Oftentimes they don't want any of it, oftentimes. but sometimes they want some of it. Sometimes they want all of it. And it's fine because I'm there to make a video. Um, I understand that people who are not in my position filming for YouTube and having it be a part-time job would not want to do that. I get it. You want to go and bring everything home. But most of the time, I mean, you guys watch the videos, most of the time, there's no real like monetary value in the stuff. So it's, you know, it means more to the landowner to have that stuff than it would for me, because I go to so many places. Stuff, I'm a little ashamed to say, stuff wind up in little labeled boxes with like GPS points where I found them, and then, you know, like if you find some flat buttons, I mean, there's only so many flat buttons you can display. Things get put in a box, and then I'm going to be gone someday, and then, you know, what happens to that stuff? So I think it's better to leave that stuff with the landowner if they want it, and if they don't, then I take it home and I give it as good of a home as I can, and then hopefully when I'm gone, that stuff gets put somewhere where other people can enjoy it. But usually I'll tell, you know, there's been a couple instances where there's something that I found that I really, really wanted to bring home, and I end up just paying the landowner for it. You know, look it up on eBay. You know, how much is this thing worth? And I split it with them or something. But that's pretty rare. But yeah, so I don't have any good advice for you. I'm in a unique situation, unfortunately. Heather Cave sends $9.99. Thank you for that. And she says, my husband and I enjoy watching. He's a cameraman and enjoys your shots. We both love the history, nature, and detecting. Thank you. Thank you for the very kind words and the donation. It always means a lot when other people who are in videography give me kind words like that. I appreciate it. I am not a videographer. I'm a musician, and I'm learning as I go. So I'm glad that people enjoy that part of it. Holy smokes, super chats are coming in. I'm sorry if I'm missing any of these. Jared Showers says, great channel, Brad. Look forward to your Friday vids. Fellow AT Pro digger and guitarist in Pennsylvania. Thanks for the hard work. Rock on. Thank you for the $5 and the kind words. I moved on from the AT Pro. I'm an AT Max now. I don't know if you guys have seen it in a video yet. Maybe you have. But yeah, I have an AT Max now. I still have the AT Pro. I have two of them, actually. The one that broke and then I got fixed, and then I had a backup. But I've got the AT Max now, and I'm liking it more, I think. Yeah, it's still pretty new, but I'm enjoying it. Del Marvelous Digging sends $5 super chat. Thank you again for the very generous donation. Brad, thanks so much for sharing your hunts and adventures with us, with all of us. I have learned so much from your videos, binge watching. Take care. God bless. Thank you very much. I'm getting to the point now, guys. I'm sorry. The super chats are coming through. I'm having a hard time focusing on just the normal chats. So if I'm missing your questions, I'm sorry. Coin Addiction. I get it. Addiction. Sends $5. No message attached. Thank you very much for the donation. Andy Shep 2576 says the people need to see your relic room. It's not very impressive. It's up here. Maybe before we're done, I'll bring my laptop up there. It's not very well lit either. Like I said, it seems like you guys watch my videos. It seems like I find lots of stuff every week, but it's really not that much stuff. And the stuff that I'm actually able to physically take home is even less. So I have a lot of my shoe buckles out, and I have my buttons all in button cases, like my military buttons and things like that. But there's not a whole lot of stuff there. Billy Digg says, clip your garbage light on your hat to show it. Thanks for the laugh. That was good. People who were not here in the beginning, this is from a light that I put on my hat to bring the garbage out at night. Nick Molnar says, I'm a photographer close to 35 years. You do some great video and photos. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Like I said, I'm learning as I go. I just recently was gifted a new camera from a subscriber, which was an upgrade from my last camera, which is incredible because it's expensive. Somebody out of the kindness of their heart who enjoys my videos sent it to me for free. With this, I'm able to do 4K video. So you may have noticed in the spring, the video film quality went up a couple notches. And it allows me to do slow-mo, which I abuse. Everything is slow-mo now. And I feel like the B-roll, like the still video in between my talking is a lot better now because of this. So I didn't want to talk about this. I'll mention it, but people, let me do these super chats quick. Center off the earth mining. What about Plymouth Five Corners? Love your videos. I don't know what that is, Plymouth Five Corners. I assume Plymouth, Vermont, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I'll research it. Thank you. I'll add it to a list. And again, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. And Copper Lobo gives $2 with no message attached. I was going to say the drone. People have been asking, why don't I have a drone? Why don't I use a drone? And I watch other people's YouTube videos who have drones, and it looks awesome. And I'm very jealous. I would love to include something like that in my video. So I've been toying with the idea of getting one. But I feel like you don't just buy a drone and just fly it. I mean, I think it's like its own hobby. Like people do it for fun, and there's like a learning curve to like flying a drone and taking good footage. Tom Antrim says, why don't you use a drone? I'm telling you, I don't want another hobby. I have a problem of turning my hobbies into jobs, which I've done 3 times in my life now. And I'm thinking about hiring somebody to film some drone B-roll, and then using it in videos perpetually instead of buying a drone. Because it would be easier, essentially. JD says, great to see you live, Brad. Nice to see you, JD. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for the $2. If you don't know who JD is, everybody knows who JD is. Go to his channel and give him some views. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the super chat. Janine says your videos are fine. Drone is not necessary. I know, but I'm always looking to, go to the next level. Like, what is the next level? A drone would probably be the next level. And then the next level after that would probably be a cameraman. But I'm not big enough quite yet to hire somebody. So tell your friends, and maybe we'll get a cameraman. Interesting with Scott says, Eddie busy tonight? Eddie was here earlier. We missed him. You have to hit the rewind button later. People who won stuff are writing in. Porsche 1178 says, do you detect in winter at all? Yes. I have not been in this hobby very long. I think my first like really successful metal detecting trip where I got like super addicted to the hobby was 2014 or like beginning of 2015. I was able, didn't freeze. I just got a notice unstable connection. You people can still hear me. But yeah, the ground didn't freeze. And then this last winter, sorry everybody, I know it's freezing. I don't know what's going on with my internet. I'm gonna have to call it pretty soon. But yeah, I tried to go through the winter, but this last year the ground froze and I was stuck out of the mountains for a few months. People are freaking out because the internet is screwing up. Sorry, everybody. I'm gonna go through this last super chat that somebody sent me, and then we're gonna call it a night. Across the Plane says, love your videos. Missed the second questions by a split second. Keep up the great work. Looking forward to your vlogs. Thank you for that $5 super chat. I really, truly appreciate the super chats that you gave and everybody gave tonight. And oop, that thing is gone now. Is the stream okay now? I don't know what happened there. My wife is probably upstairs watching 4K metal detecting videos, my metal detecting videos. Okay, maybe we'll stick around a couple more minutes. I was going to call it a night because the stream was going down and people were freaking out, but maybe we'll stick around for a little bit longer. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, so to finish my thought on the winter thing, the ground didn't freeze for whatever reason, because the snow usually insulates the ground in the mountains, and if the snow melts, then you can still go metal detecting. But this last winter, several times I couldn't get into the ground. It's never happened to me before. But like I said, I haven't been in the hobby super long. Okay, we'll answer a couple more questions. People are saying I'm freezing again, so. Keep the videos coming. Yeah. So it seems like I'm getting pretty good feedback on the vlog. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. We'll try one. And if I get more down thumbs than up thumbs on the video, then maybe I won't make any more. But Timothy Pereira says, the music that you play, is that your own? Are you playing the guitar? The music is incredible. Thank you. Yep. So all the music in the video is my own. I write them specifically for the videos. They're short. Probably shouldn't mention this if you didn't already notice. They're very short little, maybe like 30-second long melodies, and they loop for several minutes because it's just background music. So yeah, I write them. I'm actually working on one right now. I'm in my studio. Do you guys want to hear it? Have a sneak peek of it? Sneak listen. I'm actually filming the creation of this for the vlog, so you'll get a background. Or I don't know if that's going to come through very well. That's all I'll show. I did it in Pro Tools. The guitar's me, of course, and then the drums are synthetic, I guess would be a good thing to call them. They're mostly not real. There's some percussion in there that's live, but and then there's an orchestra in there, which is mostly not real. But I do have a cello back here, which I try to play. I usually write stuff with a keyboard, the string stuff, and then I'll reinforce it with real cello to make it sound more real. So that's going to be in a video someday. It's not done. I was writing it yesterday, and then I got writer's block, and I gave up on it. But my computer's still on. Yeah, so I write all the music, and there's a CD available on the website, and I was hoping to have volume 2 ready by the spring, but I'm only like 4 songs in, so. Let's see. April Kubecki says, do you do the drawings too? The thumbnail drawings, I assume you mean. I do that too. Yep, but I don't actually draw them. A lot of people, they look hand-drawn, but they're not hand-drawn. I do some like coloring. I have a tablet that I can draw on, but mostly they're like stock, what would you call them? Like stock images that are black and white, and then I can color them in and place them where I want. And I just recently started like taking images of like Eddie and I and turning those into, but I'm not drawing them. I just, in like Photoshop, I'm doing it. But yeah, the thumbnails are me. And I'm actually going back in time now because I'm not throwing shade at any other metal detecting YouTubers, but a lot of our thumbnails were all starting to look very, very similar. I'm not saying I'm not saying I was being copied. They were just all looking very the same. So in order to kind of make mine stand out, nobody else has animated thumbnails. So I'm going back in time and animating previous videos thumbnails now. April says I pronounced your last name right. That would be the first, I think. I am terrible with names. People are asking questions that I've already answered. If you are asking questions over and I'm not answering them, it's because I've already answered them. So go, you can rewatch from the beginning. D. Martin III gave me $5 with no chat or with no message attached. Thank you very much for the very generous donation. Yeah, the dynasty continues. I see you have asked this numerous times. Have you ever found anything to be confirmed by the Green Mountain Boys? No, I have not. I would love to, but to the best of my knowledge, and please correct me if you know better, I do not believe the Green Mountain Boys, which if folks are not familiar, the Green Mountain Boys were like a Vermont like militia. They participated in the Revolutionary War, and they're actually still technically around. They just morphed into, I believe it's the Vermont National Guard. They still use the flag, the same flag. And they participated in all the wars. But anyway, as far as I understand, and I've researched this, but I may have missed something. I don't believe they had like buttons and plates that had their own insignias on them. I think that they just had plain clothes, not plain clothes, but very plain uniforms. And I believe they would have used like a USA Continental Army attire. So possibly my USA button that I found, since I found it in Vermont, it may have been worn by a Green Mountain Boy, but I can't say that for sure. So not confirmed, no. Town and Country says, what's left on your bucket list? I was thinking about that because my top item was the Vermont copper that was legible. I actually found it last week. So I was been thinking about it. Oddly enough, I think that what I would really love to find is a moose antler shed. I would think that would be incredible. I would love to find one. I find moose tracks everywhere, but I've yet to find an antler shed from a moose. I find white-tailed deer antler sheds everywhere. But metal detecting wise, I think probably Massachusetts tree shilling of any design would probably be the unattainable thing on my list. The thing that would be, find of a lifetime. Eddie and I went to this Taunton metal detecting expo treasure show thing, and I feel like we were the only ones without a tree shilling. Like everybody had one but us. And one lady had two. She was like, on her like first day out, she found one. But I think that in our neck of the woods, they're harder to find. I know that if they're found in New York often enough, but nobody I personally know has found one in Vermont. All right, folks, it's 9:30. I think we're going to call it a night. I want to thank everybody again from the bottom of my heart for continuing to watch my videos. Some of you for years, and participating in the comment section of the videos. I feel a little bit of guilt because I used to reply to every single comment on my videos, and it's gotten to a point now where I can't really do it without spending several hours replying to comments on my videos. But I read them all. They all come straight to my phone. I have one right there. I read all of your comments, and I appreciate everybody who gives me a thumbs up and shares and subscribes and tells their friends. And it's an amazing community that people who watch metal detecting videos. In the grand scheme of YouTube, metal detecting is like on the bottom of the heap as far as like amount of people that watch these videos. And just to be able to do this thing as like a part-time job is incredible. So I want to say thanks again to everybody. Continue to come back and support and send super chats and send donations. And every once in a while I'll get a very generous gift in the mail like this. It's crazy. It's hard to describe having something that I've not even been in the hobby very long to get such great feedback. So thanks again, everybody. I hope you all have a great night, and I hope that you all enjoy the vlog thing that I'm going to be doing over the winter. And if you don't, let me know in the suggestion box on the website, gmmd.us, and maybe we won't do them anymore. I don't know. All right, folks, thanks again, and I will see you next week.